Hi there, it's Jen, and thanks for joining me for number 2 of 5 Cards, 5 Occasions, card number 2. This is week 1, and this is for the month of March 2017. And this card is going to be a congratulations on your new home card. For this, I am using this Dylusions stamp set. It's called Right Up Your Street. It is so cute. I love the Dylusions stamp sets, but these are red rubber stamps. My card base is 3 1/4 by 5 1/2, and it's just a piece of leftover card stock from a Simon Says card kit. And so what I did is I drew a baseline for my houses to sit on because I don't want them sitting at the bottom of the card, and I wanted them to be fairly even as far as where they're sitting on the bottom. And I'm just taking my Memento ink and I'm going to stamp up each of the houses. And I'm doing paper piecing. You can see at the top of the screen I've already done most of them. And I'm also going to mask out the little house. I use the Inkadinkado, but if you're doing a more detailed image that would be fairly difficult to cut out, I would recommend the masking fluid. It is absolutely wonderful. And maybe in one of my future videos I'll go ahead and use that, but I'm sure there's lots of videos out there with people using it. So I'm going to stamp up the house that is going to be in the background. So you always want to mask the image that's going to be in the foreground. And then I took that masking paper off, and then I'll just save that for the next time. And so next I am going to take my Aquamono glue and start piecing the paper onto the stamped images. And that's why it's called paper piecing. So I'm going to do this for each of the houses. And I really love this card. I love this stamp set. I love a lot of the Dylusions stamp set. They're just kind of, you know, not the ordinary cutesy stamp sets. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's kind of nice to do something different every once in a while. And these stamp sets are definitely not, you know, your everyday stamp sets. They're just something quirky about them that I just love. So this one I'm going to show the paper piecing for this last house, the one that's in the background. And so I just you stamp the image on your paper and then cut it out, and that's basically it. And then you adhere it to the your stamp image on your main sheet of paper. So the roof was the black polka dots, and then the base of the house is just going to be this kind of brownish paper. And then the chimney, I used a present, piece of scrap paper, which kind of makes me think of Dr. Seuss for some reason. So I go ahead and I've adhered all of my houses. And next, I was just trying to fill in. The marker didn't really do anything. I don't know why I did that. The marker didn't really do anything because it's already stamped in dark ink. And so it didn't really have an effect on the card at all. But I tried. So now I'm going to let it dry for a little bit. And my video is freezing for some reason. I don't know. Hopefully that won't turn out like that. So I'm taking this Close to My Heart stamp set, and I will put a description in the information below. I'm not sure offhand what the stamp set is, but it has some grass that I'm going to use for the landscaping for the houses. And then it's also got like a picket fence that I'm going to place in front of that. So I used 2 different colors of Close to My Heart green inks. And I'm just going to place that. And then I will ink up the fence. And that will also be in Close to My Heart ink. And that's just going to be a brown ink. I think it's cocoa. So I'm just getting that straight on the stamp. And these stamps, most of the time, I don't have any problem stamping with them, but sometimes if I haven't used it, I like to ink it down and make sure that it's not going to be splotchy or anything like that. So I put the fencing in front. And then next, I'm going to put a background. I probably should have done this before I started, but this worked out pretty well. I'm using another Close to My Heart ink. I'm just taking a makeup brush. I think it was like $1.99 at Tuesday Morning, and doing a very light blue sky background. And I really love using this makeup brush for just like very light, you know, kind of a subtle background. And I'm not really placing the brush very heavily because you will still get marks if you do, but it's just a very light touch on the card and it just leaves the faintest of color. And then I take my black Jelly Roll pen and outline the houses. And I try to do shading, but to be honest, yeah, I don't know if that worked out too well, but. And then I also take, after I do the outline on the houses, I also take my white pen and do all the little dots in the roof of that tall house. And I will leave a link, not links, but I will leave a description of all the supplies I use below. And then I'm taking the congratulations sentiment from, I believe it was a January My Hero Arts monthly kit, and stamping that on the front. And then I don't have really a new home sentiment, so I am using the little house from My Hero Arts March monthly stamp set. And I stamp that inside, and if you can see, my panel is supposed to be the opposite way. So my panel is supposed to be horizontal, and I'm actually stamping it vertical. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I'll write the sentiment. So I'm not the best at hand lettering. It's something that I'm trying to improve upon. But like I said, I don't have a new home stamp set or sentiment or anything like that. And so I just hand lettered it, and then it must have been a sign because obviously the card is not laid out how it should be. This should be a side fold, not a top. And so what I end up doing is I go ahead and I adhere the front, and I thought I sped this up a whole bunch, but obviously it doesn't look like it's going very fast. So I did that, and then I realized when I put it on that, oh, this is a side fold card, Jen. This isn't a top. I was able to save the card. So I'm putting my cheap foam, double-sided foam tape on the back just to pop the card up a little bit, since it's pretty much a flat card. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the backing off. And as you can see, it's not the easiest. Like I said, I think this is from the dollar store or something. Sometimes you do get what you pay for. I think that's when I realized, oh no, yep. So I go ahead and I place the panel on my card base. And so what I decided to do was just take another piece of scrap paper, and I cut it out. That's where I was pointing out, oh yeah, that's not good, not good. So I just cut a piece a little bit smaller than my card base, and I'm taking my Tombow runner, and I will adhere that to the inside of the card. And then I'm going to take the house, and I will stamp that on the inside of the card, but I do not end up writing a sentiment. I just figured if I give this, I'll just handwrite my own instead of trying to, I didn't want to ruin the card. And so that's it for this card, and thank you for joining me once again. I hope to see you tomorrow on Wednesday, where I'll have another occasion card.